some neighborhoods you see sometimes, or you hear about neighbors fighting over encroachments. Can we talk about encroachments? Because I can guarantee you somebody on the air right now is having an issue with one.
Encroachment is where either something, an improvement that's been made on your property or the neighbor's property extends beyond the property line. When it extends beyond the property line, either way, it's an encroachment on the property that it extends onto. So, so if let's say you have your fence and the neighbor's complaining about the fence being on what they think is their property, and if it's verified, then yeah, that's an encroachment of your fence on their yard that you have to, eventually move, or you'll get their permission to leave it where it is. But usually when they're complaining about it, they're not going to give you permission. The way that it's handled in each state, it varies. In Mass and Rhode Island, we would typically not do a survey at a closing because that's how you ultimately define, and the survey is the the evidence that can be presented in court to determine whether something is or isn't an encroachment. So that is the ultimate evidence. But we typically don't do them here, just because the lender on a closing transaction will get coverage for anything less than $5 million lender's policy. So there's automatic coverage to the lender. The owner doesn't get automatic coverage, but the general rule of thumb is that what's good for the lender is good for the owner. We wouldn't, if there's a problem with the title, and usually encroachments like this, you do see them where there's an affidavit or some kind of document recorded in the public records where the neighbor says, hey, I dispute the location of the fence, the garage, the driveway, whatever it is that they feel is an encroaching item, and that they may not tell they may or may not tell the party that has that encroaching item, to move it, but they're just saying, look, for those people, anybody who's looking at the title from this point forward, you're on notice that I don't agree with the location of that the item. So that's usually how we see it. If we see it that way, or let's say that the legal description doesn't tie up to a perfect legal, then the title insurance companies usually will say at that time, prior to closing, hey, you need to do a survey of this property to determine the dimensions, the correct measurements, and how it closes up into whatever the shape of the property is. Each one of these presents its own set of circumstances that you kind of have to evaluate and determine, okay, what's the path that we need to take to resolve the situation.